Hello students, good morning. In your previous class, I have taught you about pronouns. So let us discuss once more about pronouns. Pronouns are the words that are used in place of nouns. They help us avoid repetition of nouns. If we say Ram is a good boy, Ram stood first in his class. Ram is very intelligent boy. Ram likes to eat pizza and chocolates. So we are using the word noun repeatedly. So we have to use pronoun in place of noun. While starting the sentence, we will use noun like Ram is a good boy. After that, we will replace noun Ram with pronoun he. In case of boy or male, we can use he. So, Ram is a good boy. He stood first in his class. He is very intelligent boy. He loves to eat pizza and chocolates. So that's why pronoun help us to avoid repetition of nouns. A pronoun is a traditional part of speech that originated from the Latin word pronomen, in which pro means in place of and again nomen means name. So, what are the kinds of pronouns? First one, personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are used in place of the names of persons, animals, and things. So, when do we use personal pronoun? In place of the names of persons, animals, and things. There are three persons, like in case of first person, singular, I will say I, me, mine. But in case of first person, plural, which pronoun will be used? We, us, ours. Second person, singular, we will use you, yours. And in case of plural also. But when we are talking about third person, the pronouns will be used like he, him, she, her, it, okay? And in case of plural, they, them. Now see student, in case of first person means who is the speaker, the singular pronoun like I am a good boy. So here I is subject, okay? Give this pen to me. So give this pen to me. Me is object. Now subject is a part of a sentence which is used in the beginning, and object is a part of a sentence which is used in part of predicate. Understood? Mine. This pen is mine. So mine is object. Next go to we. We are good students. We subject. We can do this work by ourselves. So, ours or ourselves, object of the sentence. Next, third person. When we are talking about third person, like he is a good boy. So, he is subject. Give this book to him. Him is object. Similarly, in case of plural, they are good players. They is object. Give this ball to them. So them is object. So I hope you have understood what is first person, what is second person, and what is third person. And in case of singular, these pronouns will be used with these persons, and in case of plural, these pronouns will be used with these persons. Okay. So what is pronoun? Pronoun is what? Pronoun is used in place of nouns. Hari is absent because Hari is ill. But it is better to avoid the repetition of the noun Hari and write Hari is absent because he is ill. Move on to next type, that is possessive pronoun. Mine, ours, his, hers, yours, its, and theirs are possessive pronouns. They replace nouns and also show possession, ownership, or belonging. They are written without an apostrophe. Possessive means what? Which is the thing which is possession by us, the thing which belongs to me. So that is what possessive. So possessive pronoun is what? Possessive pronoun show that something belongs to someone. The possessive pronouns are mine, ours, his, hers, yours, its, and theirs. Remember this, in case of possessive pronouns, we never use apostrophe before s. Okay. Let me explain you through example. The ball is his and the bat is mine. That dress is not yours. It is hers. So in case of yours and hers, we have not used apostrophe here before s. Why? Because this is possessive pronouns. But when we are talking about possessive form of noun, that means after noun, we will put apostrophe and s. That is possessive form of noun. In case of that, we will use apostrophe. Like, is that kitten Aman's? Here I have used apostrophe. Now possessive pronoun. In case of possessive pronoun, we will never use apostrophe s like this. So note this one, that possessive forms of nouns need an apostrophe, whereas possessive pronouns don't. Move on to next type, that is reflexive pronouns. So what is reflexive pronouns? Reflexive pronouns are words ending in self or selves. In case of singular, we will use self, and in case of plurals, we will use selves, that are used when the subject and the object of a verb are the same. Remember this, note it down, that when the subject and object of a sentence are same, then only we can use reflexive pronouns, otherwise not. For example, I subject, I is the subject, I believe in myself. Here I is the subject and myself is the object. Okay, I believe in myself. मैं अपने आप पे ऊपर भरोसा करती हूँ. ठीक है, I believe in myself. So here I is subject and myself is object. Both are same. I believe in myself. So in that case, we will use reflexive pronoun. Okay. They are called compound personal pronouns as well. They can act as either direct objects or indirect objects. The 9 English reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, oneself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Note this one. Reflexive pronoun ends in self in case of singular and in case of plural selves. And when do we use reflexive pronoun? When the subject and the object of a sentence are same. Okay? Let me explain you through some examples. Personal, in case of personal pronouns, me or I. So, when we are using reflexive pronouns, then we will say myself. Me or I will convert into myself. Okay? Next, us or we. These are used in case of personal plural pronouns. Personal plural pronouns. So, when we are talking about reflexive pronouns, we will say ourselves. Okay? Next, you or yours. So, when we are talking about reflexive pronoun, it will convert into yourself, yourselves. And it, itself. Okay? Her, herself. Him, himself. Them, themselves. They are used when the doer means what? Doer is the subject, means who is doing the work. So they are used, means reflexive pronouns are used when the doer as well as the receiver means object, is the same person. Understood? Now let me explain you through some examples. That is, I introduced him to the manager. Here I is the subject and him is object. So this is first person. Okay? I introduced to whom? Him. So these subject and object both are not same. Subject, object not same. So in that case, we cannot use reflexive pronoun like himself. I cannot say like this, I introduced himself. No, it will be wrong. Second example, if I say that I introduced myself, then in that case, myself is the object and I is the subject. So subject and object both are equal. Means I am the person who is introduced myself, okay, to the manager. So here I and myself means subject and object both are same. So in that case, we will use myself. That is reflexive pronoun. But when subject and object both are not same, both are different persons, then we cannot say that himself, means we cannot use reflexive pronouns. Next example, see, he hurt himself while playing. So in this case, I have used himself, which is reflexive pronoun. Okay, this one is reflexive. This one is reflexive pronoun. This one is reflexive pronoun. Now here, subject he and himself, that is object, both are same. He hurt himself while playing. ठीक है? खेलने के वक्त वो खुद को नुकसान या चोट पहुंचाया. तो when subject and object are same, then only we will use reflexive pronoun. Understood? That means we will use this self or selves, himself. Okay? We will add self or selves with the pronoun, personal pronoun. We will add self or selves with the personal pronoun. Now next, he hurt herself while playing. Is this right? No, because we cannot use reflexive pronoun when subject and object both are different. Here we cannot say that we cannot change this subject also. We cannot change this subject and we cannot write like this that she hurt herself. No, we cannot change subject. Okay, we cannot change subject. Subject will remain as it is. He hurt her while playing. Okay, so here I have not used any reflexive pronoun. There is no reflexive pronoun. But if we say that he hurt himself, when subject and object both are related to the same person, then only we can use reflexive pronoun, otherwise not. So first person, myself in case of singular, in case of plural, ourselves. Second person, yourself or yourselves in case of plural. Third person in case of singular, himself, herself, itself in case of singular. And in case of plural, themselves. Next, move on to relative pronoun. That is another kind of pronoun, student, and this is also called conjunctive pronouns, as it relative pronoun used to join two clauses of a sentence. Okay, two clauses means two parts of a sentence with the word which, whose, who, whom. Okay, so the pronouns like who, whom, whose, which, and that, when, join two sentences and refer back to the nouns going before them are called relative pronouns. So relative pronouns are the words which are used to join two clauses of a sentence, means two parts of a sentence. For example, the boy who is with you is my brother. The boy who is with you is my brother. Here I have put comma after boy, and this relative pronoun is related to this noun boy, right? The boy who is with you, wo ladka, the boy, means in case of definite noun, when we are talking about a definite person, when we are talking about a particular person, the article the is used because the is the definite article. So in case of particular person, when we are talking about a particular person, we will use the. Okay, so the boy means the boy about whom I am talking now. So the boy who is with you is my brother. Here who is with you, subordinate clause. Okay, and the boy is my brother, it is the main clause or the principal clause. Okay, next, the boy who. Now student, just remember this one. This relative pronoun who is used in case of person. When we are talking about a person, we will use relative pronoun who. Okay, so the boy who helped me yesterday was very sensible. Was very sensible. Okay, so here when we are talking about a person, we will use relative pronoun who. The boy who helped me yesterday was very sensible. Another example, what. We will use this relative pronoun what in case of thought. What you think you can. What you think you can. जो तुम सोच रहे हो वो तुम कर पाओगे. We cannot say what you think you can do. What you believe is right. तुम जो विश्वास कर रहे हो वो सही है. What you believe is right. I know what you think. I know what you think. So in case of thought, idea, we will use what. Next, the dog which I saw yesterday has died today. The dog which is the relative pronoun. The dog which I saw yesterday has died today. Okay? So in case of person, we will use who. In case of thought, idea, we will use what. And in case of any animal or birds or thing, we will use which. Okay? So the book which is the relative pronoun here. The book which I bought yesterday has lost today. She had some pens. Now when we will use that is used in case of which, or that is used in place of who also. In both cases we can use that. Means instead of using which or instead of using who, we can use that. But when? We have to remember this one, that we can use that in sentence when the words like few, little, okay, some, one of are used. When the words like few, little, some, one of are used. Some examples, see. She had some pens that she distributed among kids. Now here I have used some before pens. So when we will use some or little or few, then we will use that. Okay? We will not use which. So we will say like this: she had some pens that she distributed among kids. Okay? Or she had little sugar that she gave to her neighbor. So when we are using this few, little, some, one of, then we can use that instead of using which or who. I hope students you have understood about relative pronouns and about reflexive pronouns.